Right now at 5, a Joplin police traffic stop turns into a high-speed chase across 3 jurisdictions.
And we've got an opportunity for an isolated shower or storm today. Otherwise, temperatures warming up. We'll have a look at your forecast coming up.
The top law enforcement official in New York faces criminal charges amid President Trump's push to target political opponents. I'm Erica Brown with more on the federal indictment.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It's Friday. That's all we need to know for today. You know what? Just forget it. Let's go out. Let's just enjoy it. It's Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. It's October the 10th. Hopefully you had a good week so far, or maybe you got a good weekend planned. It's going to be another warm one. So if you're going out for anything, just dress appropriately. Yes. Don't dress for cool weather just yet. But we are eventually going to cool down. It's going to take some time. We got to get through today and the next several days first, and we're going to start with our live look from downtown Pittsburgh. And we're looking pretty good so far. Not much going on in the area at this time. Our camera, 7th and Range Line, looking pretty good as well. So we'll head south to the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. And as you can see, things are looking good there as well this morning. So here's what we're keeping an eye on. Here's the Skywatch Storm Tracker. So what we're watching, I thought this was going a little further out than that. I apologize. Is this activity here shouldn't have an impact on us, but it's going to be the remnant energy from this thunderstorm complex over north central and northeastern Missouri what will help set the stage for our very isolated shower and storm chances a little later. So between right now it's looking at from approximately 8 a.m. to 11, we'll have a window for an isolated shower or storm. And again, the majority of us are going to remain dry. Will otherwise be partly cloudy. Then, as we head later into the day, between roughly 5 and 7, we'll get another window possibly for an isolated shower or storm. Now, I know Future Track is still showing them by 8, but I think by 7 they're probably done. We'll be partly cloudy through most of the day, and then today is now going to be the opposite of the last couple of days. Clouds will increase late this evening and into the overnight hours, but unfortunately they're not bringing any rain with them. Temperatures this morning, again, above average out there. Cassville, the cool spot at 54. The rest of us, for the most part, mid-upper 50s. Got some low 60s in there as well. Skids heading out the door, we're looking about 60, and we'll go mid-70s by lunch and recess, low 80s as they head home today. It's about where our highs are going to head. We're going to go low 60s by 9. Again, maybe an isolated shower storm out there. And partly cloudy skies, mid-70s by noon, low 80s, low to mid-80s really for our highs. And then we'll have that second window for a stray shower storm later today. We're going to take a look at your weekend forecast, talk about how much longer this warm weather lasts, and the kind of rocky road we're looking to go on next week here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, Oklahoma authorities say they have made a third arrest in a 2014 cold case. The arrest comes just 1 month after the Delaware County District Attorney's Office issued arrest warrants for Penny Larson and James Merritt Larson Jr. Now, she was booked into the Clinton County, Missouri jail. Larson Jr. was already in the custody of the Missouri Department of Corrections on an unrelated charge. Both have been charged with first-degree murder. Their arrests come following an almost 11-year investigation into the suspicious disappearance of 20-year-old Dustin Ray Carver. Back in 2014, Delaware County Sheriff's deputies had received a missing persons report regarding Carver. The initial investigation led to the search of a property in Kansas where a burn pile was discovered along with human remains. In July of 2025, the Delaware Sheriff's Office received fresh leads, which ultimately led to the arrest of Larson and Larson Jr. Now that investigation has led to the arrest of this man, 31-year-old Bradley Wayne Majors. Majors was booked into the Delaware County Jail. He has also been charged with first-degree murder. And a high-speed chase through Cherokee County ends with the Joplin man in custody. Yesterday, Joplin police attempted to stop a vehicle for running a stop sign. The driver fled, leading officers on a pursuit from Joplin into Galena, then into rural Cherokee County. The vehicle, which authorities say drove erratically on Highway 69, passed cars on the shoulder and attempted to hit a deputy head-on. Cherokee County deputies used a tactical vehicle intervention to finally stop the chase near Joplin. The driver, a Joplin man, was arrested and now faces multiple charges. And yesterday, a grand jury indicted New York Attorney General Letitia James. A prosecutor handpicked by President Trump secured the indictment. As Erica Brown reports, James pursued a civil fraud suit against Trump before he returned to the Oval Office.
New York Attorney General Letitia James was indicted Thursday by a federal grand jury in the Eastern District of Virginia and is charged with 1 count of bank fraud and 1 count of making false statements to a financial institution. The 5-page indictment alleges James made false statements related to her 2020 purchase of a home in Norfolk, Virginia, to secure more favorable interest rates. James denies any wrongdoing and in a video statement says she will aggressively fight the charges she calls a weaponization of the justice system.
These charges are baseless, and the president's own public statements make clear that his only goal is political retribution at any cost.
Last year, Letitia James secured a civil judgment of hundreds of millions of dollars against then former President Trump and his business for fraudulently inflating real estate assets, but an appeals court later tossed out the judgment. Last month, President Trump publicly urged Attorney General Pam Bondi to look into James, former FBI Director James Comey, and California Democratic Senator Adam Schiff, who is also under investigation by the Justice Department.
All Americans should be concerned about this kind of raw abuse of the power of the Justice Department.
James's indictment comes just 2 weeks after a grand jury also indicted Comey on charges of lying to Congress. Erica Brown, CBS News, Washington.
James's first court appearance is set for October 24th. And let's look at this morning's top stories and weather coming up on the KOAM Morning News. Celebrations erupt in Tel Aviv as Israel and Hamas sign a deal to end the 2-year war. Plus, see why Joplin residents find joy serving free meals to their neighbors. And warm and clear skies across the 4 states. Chris returns with another look at your forecast. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. Time now, 5:07. We'll be right back. Well, topping World Watch, 2 more funding votes fall short in the Senate. Neither Democratic nor Republican measures get enough support.
On the vote, the yeas are 47, the nays are 50. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn not having voted in the affirmative. This motion is not agreed to.
For the 7th time, the Senate failed to pass 2 continuing resolutions yesterday to reopen the government by providing temporary funding. The continuing resolutions each need 60 votes to pass. The first vote, a Democratic funding measure that will fund the government through October 31st and extend health insurance tax credits, fell short 47 to 50. A vote on the GOP-backed measure to fund the government through November 21st also failed 54 to 55. 45 rather. Well, in a historic peace deal between Israel and Hamas is one step closer to becoming a reality. If it holds, it will mean the end of fighting after more than 2 years of war in Gaza. Erica Brown has more details from the White House.
Celebrations erupted in Tel Aviv's Hostage Square at the news of a deal between Israel and Hamas that could lead to an end to the 2-year war and bring all Israeli hostages, both living and dead, home.
We are fighting for that moment for 2 years and 2 days, 734 days, to bring about the release of our loved ones. It is happening. It looks like it is happening.
In Gaza, Palestinians who were driven from their homes during the war are now hopeful they can return and rebuild. The plan calls for Israel to pull back troops from parts of Gaza and then for Hamas to release the hostages. In Egypt, Israel and Hamas signed a deal Thursday in what the White House calls Phase 1 of a peace plan proposed by President Trump.
We ended the war in Gaza and really, on a much bigger basis, created peace. And I think it's going to be a lasting peace, hopefully an everlasting peace.
President Trump called the deal a momentous breakthrough in the Middle East and says he expects the hostages to be released as soon as Monday or Tuesday.
Thank you.
The president spoke with Israeli hostage family members earlier in the day.
The one woman talked about her baby. Her baby's 25 years old, but, you know, to her it's her baby. And we're bringing them home.
Now the president is planning a trip to Egypt to attend a signing ceremony before continuing on to Israel. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Well, during a phone call, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu invited President Trump to speak before his country's legislative body, the Knesset. Well, still to come, new research provides motivation for cancer patients to quit smoking, plus clear skies and warm conditions. Chris returns with another look at your Friday forecast. Well, a group of people came together to provide food for anyone who needs it. KOAM's Ty Parks is talking to food, not bombs.
I just hope the community, there's this, push for us all to, be individuals and all separated, and I just want to bring everybody together in community and just, realize that the person next to you is just the same as you.
The same as you. Those words are the heart of Food Not Bombs. This grassroots mutual aid network is bringing people together over shared meals in Joplin, operating without formal nonprofit status or organizational hierarchy. It's a group of people coming together to help.
Basically, we just form little groups of volunteers and we serve meals, so there's no religious affiliations, no political affiliations. It's just people who want to volunteer, they just come together.
Food Not Bomb serves a community meal out of the mini Hackney Community Center on Main Street. All the food is donated as well as the labor to cook the food.
Service brings me joy. Just to be serving others is where I find my joy. It sometimes seems really crazy to people. Why would you? I'm a social worker, so they're why do you want to do 8 hours of social work and turn around and do, more hours of service? But it's just where I draw my joy.
And if you're looking for a way to draw joy and share it, there's always ways you can help.
We have donation bins at Brush and Blade, Pink Mornings, and Rattle Designs on Schifferdecker. So people donate food and we turn it around, cook it, and serve it.
The meals represent more than just food distribution. They create opportunities for connection regardless of social and economic lines. Reporting in Joplin, Ty Parks.
Food Not Bombs plans to increase their activities during the winter for those in need. Let's take it over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got, again, an opportunity for an isolated shower storm today. Otherwise, warmer and partly cloudy. Details on your full forecast right after this. Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News 519 on this Friday morning. Happy Friday. All right, so the lightning counter, again, this is actually a great example of what I've talked about. It's counting the lightning strikes it can see from what we see. So there's some with this storm up here, but you also have to remember it can see behind the banner, even if we can't see behind the banner, but nothing in our immediate area. What we've got is this complex of storms up here that's northeast of Kansas City heading into Quincy. It's really a pretty good complex of showers and thunderstorms. It is not expected to impact us. And in fact, as you see, even with new development north of KC, as it moves southeast, it won't be here. But it could help set the stage for a few of our isolated showers and thunderstorms in the next 2 or 3 hours. So we're not looking at any severe weather. I do want to emphasize that. But we could get between roughly 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. an isolated shower storm. Most of us will be dry. It'll be a lot like yesterday, and will be partly cloudy. Now, once we get past 11, could we get a stray shower storm outside of the window I just gave you? We could. It's just the slightly better chances are from 8 to 11, and then again this evening from about 5 to 7. Now, the 5 to 7 chance looks to be confined east of I-49, north of I-44, in this zone right here. Could we get 1 or 2 outside of that? Well, of course we could, but the better, and even then again, it's a very low chance, but that slightly better chance is off to the north and east in our area. After that, clouds will actually increase late this evening and overnight. We'll go mostly cloudy and will be that way to start our Saturday. And then after that, we're partly cloudy. Our rain chances tomorrow have dropped. I mean, they were already very low. We've removed them. Could we get a sprinkle or two? We could, but it's just any real meaningful rainfall chance just is not there. Skies will begin to clear, though, late Saturday into Sunday. We'll have clear skies overnight Saturday into Sunday morning. And then our Sunday, again, maybe a passing cloud or two. Outside of that, it is sunny. We've got that southerly breeze, and our temperatures will be much warmer as we roll into our Sunday as well. So that's still one expectation there. So we've got, again, an isolated storm or two possible this morning if that complex can help trigger something for us. There's no guarantee that it will, but at least we have that chance. Near 60 to start, into the low 70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Our highs today, warmer, low mid 80s, partly cloudy skies and a south breeze at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. As we go into the evening, again from 5 to 7, we'll have that window for another isolated shower or storm, but as I've mentioned this whole time, the majority of us will be dry. We'll fall back near 70 by 10, clouds increasing, and we'll be much milder tonight, low to mid 60s. Bear in mind, our average low is like 50, 51 now for this time of year, so we're about 10 to 15 degrees above that. Winds are expected to be calm. Over the next few days, next week gets interesting because there's some conflicting data out there. So real quick, we'll go low mid 80s Saturday, maybe even mid upper 80s on Sunday. We have the shower storm chances, at least slight ones on Monday, and then again by next Sunday. But take a look at these temperatures in between. They're kind of all over the place. There is some conflicting long-range data as to exactly what's going to happen. You remember yesterday we had additional rain chances out there that are now gone. So we'll keep an eye on it. Again, we're not expecting anything crazy next week. We just are hoping for a little more rain and maybe slightly cooler temperatures than what you're seeing. That's a check of your forecast. We're going to send it over to Elise now with Health Watch.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, hormone replacement therapy may help reverse changes in the immune system caused by menopause. Researchers at Queen Mary University of London, they looked at blood samples from women under 40 and over 65 and found after menopause, women develop more cells that are less effective at clearing bacteria. But they also found women taking hormone replacement therapy, which can be prescribed to manage menopause symptoms, had healthier immune profiles. And it's never too late to quit smoking, even for those who already have cancer. A Washington University School of Medicine study showed 2 years after cancer treatment, patients had a higher rate of survival if they went through a smoking cessation program during treatment. Now, this was most effective among patients with late-stage cancer, and researchers hope the data provides motivation for patients to kick the habit. And more evidence that weight loss medications may also help treat alcohol and drug addiction. This is according to a new paper published in the Journal of the Endocrine Society. Researchers say early data shows GLP-1s impact a part of the nervous system that influences addictive behavior, but they caution more and larger studies are needed to confirm how the treatments work. And walking hours after spine surgery, that's part of a new project at Penn Medicine. Stephanie Stahl has more on how patients are walking their way to recovery.
With the Rocky theme song for encouragement, patients on the neurology floor at Penn Medicine are up and walking less than 24 hours after surgery.
Good job. Great. It was fun.
Beverly Schaefer had surgery on her spine to relieve nerve compression, and a day later, she's joining the walking group.
I love it here.
Research shows early walking after spinal surgery can help people leave the hospital healthier.
They need to get up, and we just try to make that fun, because if somebody cuts into your neck or your back, it's going to hurt. They're very surprised at how getting up makes them feel better.
This pilot program will compare recovery times to patients who don't have a regular and festive walking plan.
We love to have fun in the unit, but especially when you are playing music, you see other patients that look like you, probably feel like you, it just motivates you to just keep moving.
Nurse manager Diane Latham came up with the idea for the walking groups. What inspired you to create this program?
We're always looking for ways to improve our patient outcome, improve our patient experience.
It's a fun distraction with a serious purpose. Walking after surgery reduces the risk for blood clots, pneumonia, and infections.
My spinal cord was being compressed.
Richard Bobby had a 3-hour surgery to fix his spine. Hours later, he feels better, enjoying the group activity.
From what I've heard and what they say, it pays dividends, so I'm all about it.
One step at a time, walking their way to recovery. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Patients in the walking group are cleared by doctors before they start and are carefully followed, monitored, and cheered to success, whether it's just a few steps or dozens. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. We'll be right back. Right now at 5:30, a Joplin audit shows room for improvement in city finances and procedures.
And we've got an opportunity for an isolated shower or storm this morning and again this evening. Otherwise, partly cloudy, warm. A look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, the Columbus Hot Air Balloon Regatta takes flight this weekend at a new location.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:29. I'm Elise Snowy.
And I'm Chris Warner. It is now Friday.
Yes.
All right, October the 10th. Happy Friday. What would this be? This would be September the 40th. Really, I think is where we're going right now.
Where we're at? Yeah,
I think
exactly
so. I mean, with
that,
with our temperatures and everything, it's September the 40th. We've got probably another several days of September-like weather left. I know.
We're not having an October at all.
No,
really.
no. And I was speaking with this lady at Casey's this morning, and she was just saying, I don't know what kind of costume to get the kids because I don't know what the temperatures are going to do come Halloween. Now, some good news is still late this month around Halloween, we're looking to cool down.
Okay.
Hopefully that holds for us. But between here and there, it's September 40th today. We're going to start with a live look outside from downtown Pittsburgh. And again, we're looking pretty good so far. We're starting to get some cloud cover here and there, not much yet. Our camera 7th in range line in Joplin looks good. And of course, the MoDOT camera 20th in range line. Looking back to the north, looking good as well. Got a few cars out there starting this commute maybe a little early. Like I said, maybe you've got that job where if you go in like an hour early on Friday, they let you leave an hour early. And maybe you've got that job, you go in an hour early and you get to stay 2 hours late too. You never know. But either way, going to be a nice day, just going to be a warm one. We do have some isolated storm chances, so nothing in our area. What we're monitoring, and I want to emphasize why we're monitoring this. It's not because we're expecting this pretty nice looking complex of storms, at least northern Missouri, getting some showered storm activity out there. Not expecting this to impact us. Even with this development that's taking place now north of Kansas City, even if it holds and moves southeast, it's not going to get into our area. But you see how it's got that back building. It could help set the stage for some isolated shower and thunderstorm chances between roughly 8 and 11. Now, if that complex changes or the environment variables around it change, we could get some maybe a little earlier than that. But I think from 8 to 11, we'll have our first window of very isolated shower and storm chances. We're otherwise partly cloudy. And then between 5 and about 7, I'd say, we have another window for maybe an isolated shower or storm, mainly in our northeastern counties later this evening. All right, temperatures right now, mid-upper 50s and still have some 60-degree readings out there. Stockton, the warmer spot right now at 61. And we've got Anderson Grove at 54. Jay, the cool spot now at 53 degrees. Kids heading out the door looking to be about 60. We'll go mid-70s for lunch at recess and 81 as they head home later today with partly cloudy skies. We'll go low 60s by 9. Again, mid-70s, mid-upper 70s by noon. Our highs today low to mid-80s with a south breeze at 5 to 10. We are going to continue to warm up as we go into September 41st and 42nd this weekend. We'll go over those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, the Missouri State Auditor releases a Joplin City report highlighting financial concerns. Missouri State Auditor Scott released his audit for Joplin, reflecting the fiscal year ending on October 31st, 2023. The audit gave the city a rating of fair, highlighting 10 areas for improvement. Now, these areas include finances, including finance department controls and procedures, budgeting procedures, and payroll and allowance procedures.
We are very pleased with the outcome of this audit. We've even been told by people who work in the state auditor's office that this was a good audit. I think the public can rest assured that their city government can be trusted. We're very pleased with the outcome of this audit. We've even been told by people who work in the state audit.
Cortez says the city has already started improvement efforts in many of these areas with recommendations and maintains that no legal wrongdoing was found. Early voting is now underway for the October 14th elections in Oklahoma and Northeast Oklahoma. Only some voters in Ottawa County will head to the polls on October 14th. Residents in Miami are deciding whether to approve funding for a new elementary school. The new building would allow the district to close 2 aging buildings. There are only 2 days of early voting, yesterday being the first, and the second day, of course, is today. Early voting locations are open from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. in Miami. That's at the Courthouse Annex on East Central Avenue. And the Miners Hall Museum in Franklin is getting a little extra help keeping the community park in shape thanks to some hardworking middle schoolers. Students from Pittsburgh Community Middle School's Kiwanis Builders Club teamed up with the museum for a recurring service project, one that's now become an annual tradition. This year's project included replacing old wood mulch with brand new rubber mulch in the play and picnic areas using materials purchased through grants from Get Busy Living and the Community Foundation.
It feels great to come out here and be a part of this, but it feels even better knowing it's the kids doing it and how happy the ladies are here with the foundation that are welcoming us back every year, and the kids just perform really well. They get out here and they thrive when you get them out here in the open and have a purpose.
Farrell also says the students take pride in making a difference, and it shows. Columbus is getting ready to welcome visitors from across the region for its annual hot air balloon regatta. But this weekend isn't just about the balloons filling the sky. It's also a big lift for local businesses. Downtown KOAM's Blake Gully shows us how the event brings both economic and community spirit to the city.
The annual Hot Air Balloon Regatta is one of Columbus's biggest traditions, filling the skies and bringing families together from across the 4 states. For longtime Chamber of Commerce Director Jean Purchett, it's also been a big part of her career and her love for flight.
My background was aviation to begin with, so anytime I can work with anything that flies, I'm in for it and such. So it's been a great opportunity. We have had great pilots. Most of our pilots, once they get in here, they stay for several years. All of our pilots this year, the majority of them have come for at least 20 years.
For shop owners here in downtown Columbus, the festival weekend is about more than just sales. It's about community, a reminder of how events like this bring people together.
We appreciate everybody that comes in, supports these local businesses because, I think local small businesses are the backbone of America, man, and I think every small business owner should feel like, they're being loved and being supported and all that, and they've done that for us. It's been amazing. 7 years, every year it gets packed in here.
This year's Balloon Regatta is taking flight from a new location, the soccer fields off Highway 160 and 20th Street. Organizers hope the change will make it easier for visitors to park, watch, and enjoy the show with plenty of space. Reporting in Columbus, Kansas, Blake Gully, KOAM News.
Now, for more details on the events taking place during the 36th annual Hot Air Balloon Regatta, visit our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Housing market advice for fall buyers. Plus, Discord confirms 70,000 users had data stolen, including names, email addresses, and government ID images. We'll have the latest time now, 5:37. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. And Consumer Watch, the fall buying season is underway in the housing market, and there are things that you should know. The fall buying season is underway. Let's take a look from some advice from experts.
If that you have to put 20% down, it's almost $90,000 for the median home to put 20% down right now. Very few people can do that. Let's look at 10% down, and then let's start to talk to different mortgage lenders. You should talk to a variety of them. Don't just go to your bank. Don't just go to one organization. Compare them.
Now, if now isn't the right time to buy, money experts say renting is a fine option. The key is to take the money you're not spending on a home and invest it wisely so it grows for the future. And the Internal Revenue Service has released updated 2026 tax brackets to account for inflation, which means taxpayers will have to make more money to pay into a higher rate. When it comes to the standard deductions, married couples filing jointly will have a deduction of $32,200. Single and married people filing as individuals will face a $16,100 standard deduction. Now, these changes take effect with taxpayers filing in 2027. And Discord confirms around 70,000 users may have had their data stolen during a recent data breach, including names, email addresses, billing information, and government ID images. The social media platform says its systems were not hacked and that the cyber criminals gained access through a third-party service provider. Discord says an investigation is underway and it's contacting impacted customers. And the Consumer Product Safety Commission is warning Americans not to use two products due to burn hazards. More than 46,000 Biondo electric pressure cookers sold nationwide by Aldi have been recalled after 11 reports of contents escaping this device while in use. There have been at least 8 reports of severe burns. Also, Calico Brands is recalling roughly 175,000 Scripto premium torches, also citing fire hazards. Consumers are urged to contact the product's makers or sellers for a refund. Whether your favorite apple is a Pink Lady, a Golden Delicious, or maybe the Granny Smith, they all taste a little better when hand-picked at an orchard on a crisp fall day. Bradley Blackburn takes us to one New York farm where drones and GPS are modernizing the old tradition.
Apple trees at New York's Fishkill Farms have yielded fruit for more than a century.
Last I counted, over 80 varieties of apples.
Wow. And owner Josh Morgenthau is the third generation of his family to care for them.
I grew up not wanting to see what had happened to other pieces of the farm, sold for housing development, happen to this.
This was once a commercial farm, but today pick your own produce is the bulk of the business.
That's a good one.
Families like the Winters come to enjoy the fall bounty.
We come here specifically, 1, because it's beautiful, and 2, because they offer organic options as well, and we really like that.
Technology helps make every pick possible. Fishkill Farms uses timed online reservations to manage crowds that topped 100,000 last season. And they developed a GPS map that shows guests their location in the field on their phone and which varieties around them are ripe.
Let's say, for instance, we got picked out of a Crimson Crisp, or they all passed their ripening window. We can take it off, or enable it or disable it.
And it changes from week to week.
Changes on a daily basis.
The farm relies on computer-powered pest forecasts to minimize insecticide use. And Morgenthau even uses a drone and GPS-mapped mower to carve his annual corn mazes.
And it's not easy for farms, and the way that local farms like us have been able to stay in business is by being adaptive.
Apples to apples, a lot has changed.
The simple pleasures.
To help an autumn tradition thrive. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, Hopewell Junction, New York.
Seasonal apple picking is part of a boom in the agritourism industry. The category is expected to be more than double in its size to $21 billion by 2033, according to Straits Research. That's a look at Consumer Watch this morning. Let's take it over now to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, we again have an opportunity once again today for an isolated shower or storm, and otherwise partly cloudy and temperatures much warmer across the area. We'll have another look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. Time now is 5:45. We'll be right back.
Well, several ag groups are putting out the call to President Trump. Farmers need help. An update in today's Ag Day Minute.
I'm Clem Griffiths with today's Ag Day Minute. More than 200 farm groups have sent a letter to President Trump saying farmers need help. The farm groups pointing to lower crop prices amid higher input costs, calling it not a sustainable situation, leading to an increased number of farm bankruptcy filings. Now, it's reported up to $13 billion has been set aside to aid producers. The president has stated before that he would use some of the money collected from tariffs to help farmers, but that would require approval from Congress, which hasn't happened right now due to the government shutdown. Tyson Foods and Cargill have agreed to pay a combined $87.5 million to settle an alleged price-fixing lawsuit involving beef. Attorneys for the plaintiffs have estimated there are about 36 million potential class members. They indirectly purchased beef products such as chuck, loin, and ribs between August 2014 and December of 2019 from stores such as Walmart and Costco, who are not named in the suit. Now, the settlement still needs the approval of a judge. And California is phasing out certain ultra-processed foods from school meals. It's a first-in-the-nation law that actually defines ultra-processed foods. Schools have to start phasing those foods out by July of 2029. Some critics of the ban say it's too broad and could unintentionally limit access to nutritious food. For more Ag News, watch Ag Day weekdays on the station or get updates over at agweb.com.
All right, let's take it over now to Chris for a full look at your forecast.
Yeah, we're going to start with the Skywatch Storm Tracker, where again, at least in our area, we don't have anything happening at this time. The only thing that we're just watching to see how it could impact our storm chances later this morning is this big complex that's up here across northeastern Missouri, stretching all the way back to Kansas City. Excuse me, you can see 268 lightning strikes with this activity. So we're not expecting any strong or severe storms. In fact, we're really at this point not expecting this complex to impact us, because let's put this into motion. And you'll see that even with its southeasterly motion, it's gonna miss our area, but it could have some trailing activity that will develop, or could develop rather, and give us an isolated shower storm chance between approximately 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. We just kind of have to see how it evolves. We could get some a little earlier, could get some a little later. It just depends on how that complex evolves. Once we get past 11, could get an isolated shower or two after that, but I think the majority of us will be dry, and honestly, the majority of us will be dry even if we get anything from that complex. And we'll have partly cloudy skies through the morning into the afternoon, and then there will be another window from about 5 to 7. Now, Future Track carries it as far as 8. It's not out of the realm of possibility. It's just not very likely. But from 5 to 7 in the northeastern corner of our area, could get an additional isolated shower or storm later today. And then clouds will do the opposite of what they've done the last few nights, where they cleared out late in the evening. They're actually going to increase late evening. We'll go mostly cloudy tonight and into the early morning hours on Saturday. Then we'll go partly cloudy, and our rain chances tomorrow have honestly dropped significantly. We don't have any rain chances put out there because they're less than 10%. There could be a sprinkle or two here or there in the first half of the day, but it's just not looking impressive. It didn't look very impressive yesterday as it was, but it's looking even less impressive now. However, the one thing that is still the same is as we go into the afternoon and evening hours Saturday, skies will begin to clear, and we should have clear skies overnight Saturday into Sunday. And our Sunday, again, looking at pretty well just sunny skies. We'll have a southerly breeze. Temperatures, Sunday looks to probably be one of our warmer days over the next several days as well, at least one of the warmer days. Again, so an isolated storm or two is possible. All right, majority of us, I think, will be dry and partly cloudy, but just keep an eye to the sky. And the big thing, of course, when thunder roars, head indoors. That's all you really need to remember with this activity, because, again, not expecting anything severe. We'll be near 60 to start, and we'll go low 70s by 11 o'clock this morning. Our highs today eventually climbing into the low to mid 80s. And remember, we should be in the low 70s for our highs, and our lows should be right around 50, 51. We'll have that south wind 5 to 10. And the reason I mentioned our lows, take a look at these numbers, low to mid 60s tonight. Mostly cloudy skies. We'll go near 70 still by 10 o'clock. Winds expected to be calm. Then we head into the weekend, low mid 80s Saturday, upper 80s possible Sunday. And we have a bit of a bumpy ride with temperatures simply because there's a lot of conflicting data right now heading into next week. You may remember we had more rain chances than what you're seeing. We've got now for Sunday and for Monday, but we had more, and now we have less, but we also have cooler temperatures versus what we were seeing, but we also still have a warm-up possible. So there's some conflicting data as to exactly how next week's going to play out, but we're still looking to be above average, and we at least have some shower and storm chances, although they are quite low. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Studio Cheese, a pop-up Cheez-It nightclub experience, is taking over New York City's East Village from October 9th through the 11th. Partygoers 21 and up can enjoy cheese-infused cocktails, savory bar bites, a Cheez-It tap wall, live DJ, and exclusive merch, all in a club designed to satisfy late-night cravings. The event runs 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. each night at 324 Grand Street. And a filmmaker from Southwest Missouri looks to take a fresh bite out of an old horror genre. Springfield's own Ryan Smith brings his film Eldritch USA to the big screen this weekend in Joplin. Now, while the movie, a combination zombie flick, dark comedy, and musical, has strong ties to the city of Springfield, it was a labor of love that wouldn't have been possible without friends and family in Joplin. Royal Cinema Lounge will have 2 screenings of the film, Eldritch USA, this weekend. Friday night at 7, that's tonight, of course, and tomorrow night at 8.
That's actually really cool to have some local filmmakers like that producing
Yes.
some good content. It's great to get out there and support them. And it's also, I think, even more cool when you get to watch a movie and you get to see places you're familiar with. Because, all the movies are always set in the big cities and stuff. It's almost like we could live there because we know what they look like. But it's really cool to see stuff being made in your own backyard. And speaking of your own backyard, it's probably crying out for rain. And our chance is still not all that great. Could get an isolated shower or storm between 8 and 11 approximately out there. But again, most of us will be dry. We're partly cloudy, about 60 to start. We'll go low 70s by 11. Our highs today, again, honestly, the whole region's crying out for fall, and we're just not getting there. We're going to go low mid 80s today, partly cloudy skies, south breeze 5 to 10. Our northeastern counties between about 5 and 7 could get another isolated shower or storm, but again, that'll leave most of us dry. Clouds will increase late evening and overnight, going mostly cloudy, low to mid 60s. Could get a sprinkle or 2 tomorrow, but I think that's really about the limit of what we'll have. Partly cloudy, low 80s, mid upper 80s Sunday, and some rain chances on Monday. Let's check your forecast. Got another hour of the KOAM Morning News up next.